Alright, we're on the play. This is Rug Delver. This is Rug Delver, but it's not a hand I would keep. We've got a bit of interaction and a Thought Scour. Thought Scour is one of our non-Serum Visions cantrips, which makes it not nearly as good as, oh hey, Serum Visions. This hand I will keep. I think it's better than going to 5. Visions is a very good card. Traverse is nice for finding a threat once we get through that. I don't think I want Spell Snare. I would quite like to find a Stomping Ground, or a land that can produce a Stomping Ground. Would very much enjoy having access to red and green mana. Our opponent also mulliganed. This is one of the spots where I don't like Disrupting Shoal very much. If they don't have a very key 2-drop for me to Shoal pitch Shoal, these are probably going to rot in my hand to an extent. And even if they do, I mulliganed, I shoaled. That's fantastic. I'll even leave all of it just in case. I mean, I'm almost certainly not going to not fetch with the Misty, but maybe. May as well have access to it. Celestial Colonnade screams blue-white control. Could be Jeskai, could be Esper, could be... It's not banned. Let's be real, it's not banned. Probably just Delver Go. We very well may end up doing the fetching on the end step. I don't know if I want that land. I kind of do. Unfortunately, that means Delver's definitely not going to transform. Life totals are relevant, so fetching now has some utility. We'll probably end up drawing some lands over the course of this game. I'd also just like to draw a bunch of threats. So I'm a little hesitant to want my third land too soon. I think my biggest reason, though, is Delver. I'd like it to transform. Thought Scour. I would love to reveal that. Let's get rid of that box. We know we have Thought Scour. Let's go swinging. It's highly likely that I'm going to end step Tarfire, because I would quite like to enable Delirium. There's probably going to be a Thought Scour on the end step as well. They may have some interaction here. They also may not. Looks like not. I would very much like to turn on Delirium quite quickly. It'd be nice if we had the third land at this point so that we could Delirium up a Mandrills and play the Mandrills. But I guess that's not really applicable without also being able to rapidly play the Mandrills and protect it, because we are up against a Path deck. Turns out they are on Jeskai. Detention Sphere. Ooh. Exiling, assumably Delver. We can't counter that, so it will happen. Yeah. That happens. I could have theoretically scoured into a Knuckle Blade. That's relevant. I probably should have scoured there just in case. I'm going to do it now anyways. But technically, for completeness, I think I should have scoured there in case I drew a Knuckle Blade. Of course, sooner or later, Knuckle Blade is going to be an excellent threat. So there's also that. Let's Tarfire them. I almost Tarfired myself. I was very close to doing that. Would have been pretty funny. But I mean, I don't want to Tarfire myself. So now, if we draw a blue card, it's another Shoal. So we just pray that they don't have Path. That's pretty much all we can do in this spot. Verdict is also going to be a pain. I could go for Goyf, I guess. Goyf is slightly better here than Mandrills, I think, so let's do that. They don't play Fatal Push, so Mandrills doesn't have that sort of edge. I don't think the Trample is going to be a huge deal, but if they have a 2 CMC spell, these Disrupting Shoals are going to do it. Don't get me wrong, I obviously like Disrupting Shoal. I have 3 in my deck. It does have its bad moments, as you can see right here. Well, they didn't have anything yet. Upkeep Path, perhaps? No? Okay, well, I probably want to play that land so that we can hardcast a Shoal for 2. Just in case that's relevant. I don't think we're doing a lot by bluffing with that. We cannot counter that with Cryptic. It's bouncing Tarmogoyf, draw a card. That's perfectly fine. I will pick up my Tarmogoyf and then set it back down. That was Fog, draw a card. Which is definitely good in some circumstances. Especially if you're just digging to a permanent answer. It looks like they don't have Path yet. It's a little unfortunate that we don't have Goyf plus Hardcast Shoal for X equals 1 mana currently, but I wasn't going to wait for the 5th land drop in hopes that I'd be able to go Goyf plus Disrupting Shoal next turn. To be fair, any 1 CMC blue card has a similar effect, but still. Seems like a bad idea against a control deck. Sword of the Meek. We're playing against Thopter Sword. That's exciting. And hey look, Shoal can do something. It's not great, but I'm going to do it anyways. Against Thopter Sword decks, it's a lot more important to counter the Thopter Foundry than the Sword of the Meek. We drew another land. That's fine. That one I won't play. The artifact in the graveyard makes Goyf a 5/6. That I like. Actually, I am going to play this. Being able to counter a 3 CMC spell is relevant. I should have fetched on the end step. That was a misplay. Although not necessarily. I think I should have fetched on the end step. Let's see. Countering the sword in Thopter Sword is a little subpar because they can get it back out of the graveyard by sacrificing an artifact. How many of these do I want to crack? Just in case. They may try something while I have less mana. Let's leave the one uncracked. I can get an island with it if I need to. Being able to counter Cryptic Command is definitely relevant. It's not great, but I think it's slightly better than bluffing. Probably. They're doing something. Probably animating Colonnade. They wouldn't do that yet. Preemptive Fetch. Ooh, Snapcaster Cryptic? Snap Cryptic, probably. Do I want to counter Snapcaster Mage or let them tap out? If I don't counter Snapcaster Mage, they get a Snapcaster Mage. That's not exactly a good thing because it slows us down a turn. Yeah, let's deal with that. X equals 2. That spell. Blue, whatever, blue, also whatever. Go to end step. We could have countered the Cryptic. If I was playing around counter spells, I probably would have waited for them to cast the Cryptic, just in case they had something like a Mana Leak. Second Snapcaster Mage is to chump block. That's fine. Oh wow, creature was not previously in the graveyard. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna attack. Oh, they were gonna tap down the team instead of bouncing. I don't know if tapping down the team is any better than bouncing. I probably want to crack 2 of these. well, these two, and then not crack any subsequent ones. They found a path. We're going to have so much mana. They just drew it. I love when people cast instants in their draw step. It's fun. It is just fun. Cracking both of these still keeps us at 13, which means Colonnade needs a full 4 turns to do us in. Or at least needs assistance plus 3 turns. Maybe assistance plus 2, but I don't think the assistance is coming quite that soon. Island or mountain. We have so much mana. I don't think that the damage there was very relevant, so I don't mind fetching. This one I don't want to use because now damage is extremely relevant. Them going down to 6 is also very relevant because we are a lightning bolt deck, as our opponent saw off of Thought Scour. Jeskai Thopter Sword. Usually people play Esper. Oh, Ancestral Vision. They basically just put a 3-turn clock on us, because if that goes off, we're in trouble. I'm absolutely scouring now. We have more mana than I know to do with. Mandrills. It trades with Colonnade. That's almost certainly what's going to happen here. Do I want to leave up mana? Maybe a little bit? 3? What could I represent on 3? Let's leave up 4. Maybe I play Cryptic Command. They don't know. They probably know. Shoal. Shoal. Shoal is awful. Out of the graveyard. 1. Oh, hey. We did it. Delving for Mandrills does not take very long when you have a boatload of mana. Visions ticks down. Snapcaster Mage would be quite nice. Snag the Colonnade. Mandrills gets in. They end up at 1. We draw Bolt. Good old-fashioned Bolt. I am going to attack regardlessly, even if it means we lose the Mandrills to their Colonnade. That's fine. Cryptic. Never mind. Never mind. That's annoying. They're going to be able to get this Vision off. 3 more counters, that's not bad. So it's 4 turns. It's suspend 4. I don't play against Vision very often. I hope you excuse my lack of Ancestral Vision knowledge. I believe I'm going to upkeep this Lightning Bolt at them. I'm definitely putting Mandrills back down. 1, 2, 3. Let's leave up some amount of mana to play around various counterspells, just in case they're playing them. They're probably not, but better to be safe than sorry, and it's unlikely that I need a lot out of this graveyard. When games go long, graveyards get quite large. Ancestral Vision, let's cancel skip. On the upkeep, minimize the chances that they drew a counter spell. Just fire a bolt off at them. Yup, go to us. That's fine. I'm definitely not playing this Foothills. We have so much mana, I'd rather they even have something like a 1% chance of thinking that I have a good spell. What are our outs right now? They suspended another Ancestral Vision. Let's put this roughly in the middle. 1, 2 Lightning Bolts are out of the deck. So is a Traverse and a Snapcaster Mage. In Exile, we have none of those things. So we have 2 Bolts, a Snap, and a Traverse that kill them on the spot, which is nice. Can I get 1? It's a leak. Mana leak's really bad in the late game. Really bad. Atrociously bad. Hot garbage. We're gonna call it hot garbage. That seems like an appropriate name. They animate Colonnade. We're going to trade. It'll be a 4/4. It's a fancy schmance Colonnade. On the downside, we lost our mandrills, but given that they had a Colonnade ready to go, we never really had the mandrills. Those are going to tick down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they can cryptic pay for leak. Sword, can't counter that. They have 0 cards in hand. Do we have the kill? We still might. Thought Scour us. Traverse! They have no cards in hand. Hey! I think we got there. Did we just mill a Snapcaster Mage? We didn't. I'd still be casting Traverse if we did. Wow, that's a small graveyard. Snapcaster Mage. Close. Snap. Hey, there's the concession. They saw Snapbolt coming. Ancestral Visions are still here for some reason. They'll probably go away. How do we board against blue-white Jeskai Thopter Sword? That's an interesting question, Self. Blood Moon seems good. So, we have some cards that are just going to be generically good here, and we have some cards that won't necessarily be good. I will explain why as I sideboard. Blood Moon is probably the only card that's generically good. They basically have 2 plans. Combo out, which basically closes the game on us, even though it won't kill us like something, say, Splinter Twin, Kiki Jiki, other combos that kill you, Murderous Redcap, and Melira, and a Sack Outlet. Those sorts of things where they just go infinite, kill you right away. Nightfall, Retreat to Coral Helm, and Knight of the Reliquary. Not quite infinite, but a boatload of damage. All things that end the game just about immediately. Thopter Sword doesn't necessarily end the game immediately, but it threatens to make a bunch of chump blockers and gain something like 6 life every turn, which we don't deal with very well because we're an aggressive deck and we don't want them to have a bunch of blockers and a bunch of life. So basically they have 2 plans where they either do that or they grind us into the dust the old-fashioned control way. Blood Moon's good against both because it hits their mana. Explosives is good against the tokens. So is Staticaster, Pyroclasm, Artifact Hate. Spell Snare is good against both plans, actually. I probably want to board out some shoals, but we'll see. Rejection seems pretty bad, and I don't want Vapor Snag. So these cards are good against both. I like Huntmaster against the control plan, but I don't really like it against the Thopter plan. I'm still going to bring it in because they run Path to Exile. Staticaster seems decent at worst. Pyroclasm seems a lot worse, and I think I want at least Destructive Revelry, maybe not the Grudge. 8 cards have to go. I'm probably going to start with Shoal because it's an easy cut. Tarfire I like. A number of bolts I don't. It will cut down on our outs, but what are you going to do? Can I cut 2 more cards? Vapor Snag and Dismember are going to go because we have Blood Moon to deal with Colonnade. They don't have other fatties. I believe this is pretty good. I suppose we will find out. I'm basically trying to play against combo and control at the same time. This hand definitely does not do it, so we're going to mulligan. And unfortunately, this hand has no lands, although it is quite good. A green source to traverse would make this awesome. There we go. Beautiful. I was absolutely worried we'd mull into Oblivion. Do I want Steam Vents? I don't think so. It's good for Huntmaster, bad for Hoots. If we get Hoots, they probably end up pathing it, which is good for Huntmaster anyways. And if they don't path it, we have a great clock. So, I like Hoots. Oh yeah, Drew Delver. Fantastic. Makes the hand even better. What do I want to get? We need to keep Blood Moon in mind. So I think it's just a Steam Vents. I don't really want to get Blood Moon. I don't want to get Breeding Pool if I'm on the Blood Moon plan. I'm having a lot of trouble talking for whatever reason. I am flubbing all over the place. So we play Delver. Hopefully they don't have any lightning bolts for it. I wouldn't hate seeing a Path to Exile here. And that's unfortunate. But what are you gonna do? At least it fuels Mandrills. Land tapped, sure. Tarfire. Not a good draw. I believe it's just land go. I don't want a Tarfire currently. We might do it on end step. Probably do. I also don't know if I want to crack that Misty. I almost want to actively draw lands right now. Sword of the Meek I can't deal with, so yeah, it's going to resolve. And we're just going to Tarfire our opponent. Hopefully they don't have it. If they do, hopefully we can deal with it. If we can't, what are you going to do? Visions, that makes me want to fetch. Let's get a basic forest. I want to play around Blood Moon still and be able to cast Hooting Mandrills this turn. What do we got? It's a Thought Scour. I don't really want either of these cards. I do want to cast this though. Yes, I would like to delve. Bring up the graveyard. We're delving everything. So Traverse is going to be pretty bad unless we scour like a champ. These are permanents in exile. We don't want to see those. I would like to see their graveyard. Do they have it? Okay. So this is going to be very troublesome. Draw a card. It's an island. Blood Moon would not save us from combo, but it would be nice. I think I want to scour now. And I would very much like to draw. That wasn't a Destructive Revelry. I would have very much enjoyed a Destructive Revelry. Next turn, we have Staticaster? Huntmaster? I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do. They don't have a lot of lands though, so they can only gain roughly 3 life a turn, which is nice. Activation. They gain a life. Chump to pseudo gain more life, I guess. We have nothing to do, so just go to us. It's nice that we can shoot the Thopter that would get the sword with Staticaster. That actually makes me want to Staticaster next turn and not play Huntmaster. We might be able to get them. Probably not, depending on how much life they're able to gain. But we might. They can now gain 4 life a turn, and I'm pretty sure Staticaster's just parity. I'm going to do it anyways. Let's start with a Thought Scour on us. We can still Staticaster after this. I want to Staticaster first because it will help us with the attacking, and then we will Huntmaster on the following turn while we have our repeatable, basically one-sided board wipe. We drew another Mandrills, which is actually super enticing. I want to play it, but I also just want to try to kill them. I don't know how long of a game I can play. Activations, sure. Yep. This is going to be a lot of clicking. Just the one. Nope, more Thopters. Once they make all of their Thopters, I think I shoot them with Staticaster. The nice thing about playing Staticaster sooner rather than later means they can gain tons of life, but we still have a repeatable board wipe. So once we rack up more damage than they can gain each turn, Staticaster will just keep them off the table until we can close the game. Might work, Might not. Might go terribly wrong. We'll have to find out. They made just enough Thopters to take out Mandrills, which is fine. Once they've declared blockers, I'm going to Staticaster. Order it like this. Nothing wrong with that. We're not going to get there, though. We won't do the full amount of damage, but I was hoping they'd go all the way so we could just totally get them. Tap, yes. That guy. 2 down, 1 has some damage. Mandrills will get a couple points of damage in, and we're going to go to them. So we don't have them yet, but we basically have the board set up such that we can't die for a while, unless they Supreme Verdict. Then we are in all sorts of trouble. As is, they're going to be doing roughly 2 damage to us a turn. I also apologize for not having whatever Thopter token this is. It looks like it's from one of the Alara sets. Xmage doesn't give you all of the tokens. I think you can get them if you go very far out of your way. Not positive on that. Yeah, they have Verdict. Well, we tried. Do we have Revelry off the top? Puts us way back in the game. It's another Mandrills. We can only play 1 threat, so I think it's going to be Huntmaster. Uses our mana as efficiently as possible, and gets the Huntmaster plan going. The Mandrills plan definitely loses to the Swarm of Thopters. The Huntmaster plan has a very small chance of success, I think. At least I can maybe shock a Thopter. Okay, well, we're losing him. I will get an island. We have our lands now, although we still can't double Mandrills. I actually don't want to draw a green source because green sources are lands and I need action stat. I don't even know if Revelry saves us at this point. They make a bunch of Thopters. I'm not sure we'll be able to race them. Knuckleblade isn't bad. Which threat is best? Mandrills or Knuckleblade? Knuckleblade can get haste. That is definitely something. They can't make enough Thopters to trade with it, so they probably chump. I think it's going to be Knuckleblade. They also might just have removal or a counter, which would be sad. So, yep, there's the counter. It looks like we are, in fact, going to lose this game, and I believe we're going to focus more on their combo than on the control aspect of this deck going into game 3. Yeah, I'll do 2. I'm down. Surgical my Goyfs. Sure. Go ahead and do that. They're going to take a look at our library. It's possible we should concede, but we're changing up our game plan anyways. So if they infer a lot of information from what they see off the extraction, we can basically get them anyways. Plus, I think we're still in it. Revelry off the top could help. Them tapping out for the Cryptic makes me pretty happy, because it cuts down on the number of Thopters they have. Which means if we draw Revelry, take out the Foundry, we just might be able to race them. We don't have any more board wipes, so we won't be able to clear the Thopters. We might top deck another Huntmaster to help us gain some life. Some of the things we're going to be doing post-board include bringing in the Ancient Grudge, because I am much more interested in destroying this artifact now. Probably trying to work the Disrupting Shoals back in, because I would like to counter it if I could. Although I may not work on that. We'll see. Probably taking out a Huntmaster, given that I want to focus mostly on keeping them off the combo and then killing them, and a little less on our late game action. Here's an Ancestral Vision. It's kind of a rock and a hard place they put us in here. I like that they're casting spells, though. Or casting a spell and putting something on suspend. That makes Revelry more likely to get us out of this. If we could draw it. Snap Serum Visions? Snap Bolt? Snap Extraction, targeting Mandrills? Probably, given that they know we have two. In which case, I do think I scoop. Mandrills, there it is. Yeah, let's not give them another look at the library. The first Surgical, I think, is fine because we can probably beat it. The second one, when they take both Mandrills out of our hand, we can top deck Revelry, and then we have to race probably 4 Thopters and a Snapcaster Mage. That is 7 power with the Sword of the Meek. Kills us in, I believe, 2 turns. And we have absolutely nothing. So, yeah, that doesn't seem like a good plan. EE actually is both a board wipe for the tokens and can take out the artifacts, so I think that's good. Ancient Grudge, like I said, I would like. We might not be able to fit these. I'm not going to bend over backwards for them. I do think I want to cut one of these. And probably a Traverse. We are noticeably giving up a lot of late game action here. These are 2 of my favorite cards against control decks. But I still have this copy and that copy. So I'm not too sad. How many blue spells do we have? 4. That's 21 minus 3 plus 1, which is 17 1 CMCs, and 4 2 CMCs. So the shoals are mostly going to be countering things like Paths. Not doing too much work against the 2s, which really they normally don't. I probably have to bring in all 3 to have a decent chance of shoal, pitch shoal or something like that. I don't think I want to do that, so I'm just going to submit. We are on the play with a good hand. A very good hand. Wow. We have Cantrip into Fast Clock, into interaction on 2 axes, into late game Haymaker. Go to end step. We're almost certainly getting a Steam Vents. I will be sad if we mill the Forest, but what are you going to do? This is exciting. Here's a Serum Visions. We're not going to mill them, although I will note the option. It's at least somewhat tempting if they top, but having this Mandrills in hand just makes me not even care. They did top. Still don't care, though. Still don't care. Let's grab a Steam Vents. Yep. Scour ourselves. Pay blue. What did we turn over? Steam Vents Visions. And we drew another Visions. Spell Snare is tempting, but I don't think they have any 2 CMC spells that will deal with Mandrills right away. So we will Visions instead. We're going to get a Breeding Pool and say nuts to the Blood Moon. Unfortunately. May as well Visions before the Mandrills. Snapcaster Mage I actually would like to bottom. Visions. Do I want it? I don't hate it. It's gonna help us find land drops, so I guess it's good. I want to keep Delirium, subsequent Mandrills, and Snapcaster good, so we're going to be leaving the Sorcery. Sorcery is a little harder for us to hit than land, as far as Delirium is concerned, and Visions is probably the best thing we could flashback with the Snapcaster Mage, outside of Spell Snare, which would be fantastic. Our opponent has a very full grip, super saturated with cards. More cards than they could hold. Here is a surgical on visions, that's fine. It'll happen. They have quite a bit of information now because this is the configuration we are using for the remainder of the match. However, there's also the fact that if we scoop, we lose the match. So scooping to hide information, I'm sure that was extraordinarily obvious to everyone, but I wanted to point it out anyways, is a bad idea here. We're waiting on our opponent to do something good. Looks like they didn't. They messed up the serum visions we put on top, but that's okay. Can we have, say, a forest? A destructive revelry. Well, I'm just going to attack and pass the turn. The nice thing about this position is their best way of taking out mandrills is with a Path to Exile, and that conveniently finds us the third land to really get humming. If they go for an Oblivion Ring or Detention Sphere, I'm going to be revelrying it on end step, so I'm not scared of that. Our opponent is pretty low on life right now. To be fair, we're also relatively low, given that we haven't been attacked yet, but Fetch Shock will do that. Here's an Ancestral Vision. I'm going to do my best to ensure that that never comes off suspend. We can flash in a Snapcaster Mage for extra beats. Is that appealing? We do have some things to do afterwards. Does it speed up our clock? It actually makes it a 2-turn clock, so yeah. I'm going to do that. I mean, to be fair, they could path mandrills and at least somewhat punish us for this play, but I kind of like it. Oh, Island. Ironic that that makes Snapcaster Mage a lot better, but I also really like having a 2-turn clock over a 3-turn clock, so Ambush Viper up in here. Yep, one counter comes off. And what will it be, opponent? Do we have it? They stumbled on lands. To be fair, we did too. Did they visions at all? I think they did. Yeah, they did. I don't think flashing in on Staticaster is something I'd like to do. I would like to swing with the team. Xmage just froze, which is... Oh, there we go. Okay. I was gonna say, that's extremely upsetting. But it didn't. We just lagged. Do we have it? No blocks. There is a lightning bolt. I will not be countering that. They're going to go to 1. Revelry kills them if they play any artifact or enchantment. We can't play the mandrills, so I think we're just going to go to their turn and see what's what. They have to answer mandrills now. If they don't, they're dead. They hit their 3rd land drop. They have the sphere. That is going to do it in pretty much the most exciting fashion there is. I was hoping to Revelry a Detention Sphere, get mandrills back on end step so that it can attack on the next turn. As is, I have to settle for Revelry on end step, win the game. They scooped. That will do it. Rug Delver versus Jeskai Thopter Sword. That was exciting. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.